AK, you made this?
I'm your host, Ivy, and you're sparking up with VNW. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that post notifications button, man. Today we got MOF DayDay outside with us.
MOF DayDay in the building. Shout out VNW.
Oh God. He came to VNW right with the, you feel me?
Man, you know, we got the half of P and we got the full P, man. You know, coming right.
Come on, real regular, oh God. So, first and foremost, on social media, and tell the people where they can find your music or any other platforms you have.
Social media, I only really fuck with the Instagram shit. The Don _ DayDay, the Don _ DayDay, follow me. YouTube, MOF DayDay, you feel me? I got all my shit. Album coming soon. I got some songs on all platforms, you feel me? 3's high, man. MOF DayDay, man.
Oh God, come on, check them out, for real. So, before we get into anything, we gotta shout out my boy 1100. He had you on the platform first.
Oh God, shout out my nigga Mac.
Yeah, for sure. He over there doing his thing, man. Definitely check out TTW TV, man. Check my boy out.
Check my nigga Mac out, man. He coming with that shit for sure.
Come on now. So, we had a few people from Vallejo on the channel, you know, like the Russells, Scandal Dark Lord, Guapodella, and Zodog. And everybody, you know, talked about how they saw Vallejo, their upbringing, and what they learned, you feel me? So, you mentioned in your previous interview that your mother was addicted to crack, and you were raised by your grandmother. You even talked about being in the foster care system.
Yeah.
So that part of your life is, you know, it's so similar to so many other black boys and girls growing up in poverty. You feel me?
Oh God.
But although they may be similar, everybody has their own story to tell. So what's yours?
Shit. My background. You feel me? My mama had 7 kids. You feel me? I was born in Louisiana. But I'm one of the last generations who came to the Bay. You know how the Bay Area really migrated from the South.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you feel me? Like, yeah. So started off in Oakland. That's where my mom from. Moved to Vallejo when I was 6. You feel me? Stayed in Central Vallejo ever since. So you feel me? I'm from Central Vallejo. But yeah, growing up, you feel me? I ain't had my mom and my dad. I had my grandma though until I was like 13 and a half. I caught a couple robbery charges. I went to juvenile hall, and they took me straight to foster care from there. Due to, you know, they saying that my grandma could raise all of us. I mean, she only had 5 of us though. Right. But you feel me? 5 out the 7, but all of us, you know, 5 boys, little old grandma, she couldn't. You feel me? So,
right. Yeah.
You know, but yeah. Grew up in foster care.
So with the foster care thing, you know, everybody got like different stories about, you know, going through foster care, how it's never been, all type of shit. Like, what was your experience with that?
Shit, my experience with foster care, bro, that motherfucker was rough. I ain't gonna lie, that motherfucker was rough. You got some shady foster parents, you feel me, who only want to do it for the money type shit, who don't really give a fuck about the kids type shit, you feel me? I fought a lot because I was angry due to my situation, and you know, I'm 14. I mean, I spent 9 months in juvenile hall my whole 9th grade year. I got kicked out of Vallejo High, so I had to go to Bethel and shit like that. But they gave me a chance due to my grandma, you know, putting in a good word. Like, she don't want her babies going out of state type shit. Because, you know, a lot of people go out of state, you know, when they enter the foster care system. So,
really?
Yeah, you know, I had some brothers like, like when me and my brothers into the foster care, we all split.
Yeah. Like,
you feel me? So I ain't really get a chance to see them until, like, you know, niggas hit their 20s and shit like that. So we all, so we all coming back, and you feel me? And, you know, you miss that bond and shit like that, and, you know, niggas grow. Foster care change, you know, I should change niggas, so you feel me? Like, oh God though, but that motherfucker was rough for the most part. I didn't really get the chance to do a lot of shit that the normal kids was doing. Right. Due to, you know, I had shady ass foster parents, you feel me, who wouldn't let me do shit. Like, I didn't get a chance to go to prom, and at the same time, I was on probation my whole foster care term. Yeah. Due to that, you feel me? So, yeah, but it was cool. after I left foster care, I had my own apartment at 19.
Okay, hello.
So you feel me? So I was, that motherfucker teach you how to be independent for sure. You
Right,
feel me? So,
right.
but the only thing is like, I ain't got nobody to lean on. You feel me? Like call for advice type shit.
For sure, you ain't have that village to like. Yeah.
Exactly. You feel me? But I grew up in a village, so it takes I slept at everybody's house in my neighborhood, so it take a village to raise a kid. You feel me? Like, yeah, that's what my album finna call, Orphan of the Village. You feel me?
I like that.
Yeah, stay tuned. That shit finna drop.
For sure, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So with all the bad that happened, was there anybody in your life that had a big impact on you growing up, or like you learned something from them?
Yep, I had a couple of people down the way, you feel me? But like everybody don't stay, everybody don't. So you feel me? Like my whole upbringing was just learning from people mistakes. That's how I learned from my mistakes and shit like that. Like I got my kid, you feel me? So I just go off of my mistakes, so he don't have to follow the same footsteps that I went through. You feel me? So, and then with me being a foster kid, you feel me? Like I can't let my son and my daughter go through the same thing what I went through, because they doing all types of shit in that motherfucker. You feel me? Like so.
Weird shit, yeah.
Yeah, weird shit, bro. Like I just blessed that I ain't had to go through that shit. I was already, a teenager when I entered that motherfucker. But I have some foster brothers who've been in that motherfucker for their whole life, and I understand why, like, I don't judge people. You feel me? Like, the LGBTQ community, I fuck with them. You feel me? Like, nigga, I have foster brothers who've been molested when they was young, who, found, who just grew like, that's what they like. So, you feel me? Like, I don't judge if you gay, lesbian, or none of that. You feel me? We all finna struggle. So, you feel me? Oh, God, for real, though.
Yeah, that's it.
It's crazy, bro. So
they
a lot of shit, bro. No, for real, like, you feel me? Like, once I make it, I'm gonna give back to the community for sure, cause like, I have some stories to tell, bro. Like, it's crazy what I'm going through.
And you should definitely tell them too, because somebody could experience what you experienced. You feel me? And,
That's why I rap about this shit, man. Somebody in them group homes or them level 14 facilities who listening and going through the shit I was going through, man. You just gotta keep your head up. Storm don't last forever. That's what my grandma used to say. I try to keep everything, that my grandma molded me when I was 13, and try to keep that on, you feel me? Because, that's all I really know, you feel me? Other than me raising myself, you feel me? So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely got to walk through the darkness to get to the light.
That part.
Oh, God.
That part.
So, you talked about, going to jail a lot or whatever.
Yeah.
And, catching different cases and shit like that. And, with you 27, right?
I'm 28.
You 28?
Yeah, I just turned 28.
Yeah, and you said you was still on probation or whatever.
Yeah, I'm on 2 different probations.
Yeah.
Assault with a deadly weapon, possession with a firearm.
For sure. And we definitely ain't got to speak on it, but
yeah.
Do you feel like you had a choice?
Me specifically?
Mm-hmm. Or was it just
maybe back then if I was strong-minded, but my environment raised me, and I looked up to my older peers and shit like that. I ain't really had nobody like, you could do it, or congratulations, you got through this. I always knew I wanted to graduate high school, though, for sure. I did that. I went to college a little bit.
Okay.
You feel me? But I was heavily in the streets, you feel me, due to my affiliations and all that other stuff. But maybe if I had somebody in my ear, like my mom or my dad, I would have probably, because, like, really, I wanted to be a scientist when I was young.
Yeah.
Like, when I was living with my grandma, I wanted to be a scientist.
Oh, God, me too. A marine biologist type shit.
I wanted to study plant cells and animal cells and how that shit feed off of photosynthesis. And come on, I used to study all that shit for real.
Yeah. Right. So, that's dope as fuck.
But I was always in the streets, so running away from grandma. Grandma was, wasn't on the shit I was on, Maybe if I had somebody in my ear, I would have changed up. But, that's why I'm so heavily in my son and my daughter life, you feel me? Because they ain't have no reason to do this shit. I'm in their life. So, you feel me? This is what we doing, school, sports, and that's that, you feel me? So, maybe if I had that, I would have came out way different.
Thanks.
You feel me? So, but yeah, I ain't had no parental guidance.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't have.
Oh, God.
Guidance.
I ain't had no parental guidance. So, you feel me? Everything I know, I learned from myself. My peers and watching people.
Right. And that's what people gotta understand, man. People so quick to put people in jail, niggas in jail and whatever, but it's never no rehabilitation, never know nothing to make you better. You feel me? That's what I never understood. Like, y'all just trying to make money off these people. Y'all never trying to
That part.
make a change.
That
You feel
part.
me?
What I could say is, probation helps a lot. I ain't gonna lie. It depends on how you look at probation. You feel me? How you take it in. Like, probation helped me a lot. You know, like, you know, put me in the spot, help me get a job. You know, for people that's felons and shit like that. And you know, some people are, oh, fuck probation, but you know, LPL really want you to do better. That's why I can say who's like on me right now to do better is my PO. You know, sometimes I be feeling like giving up and shit like that, but she on my head. You feel me? So.
For sure. You got somebody in your ear that's trying to help you.
Yeah, you know, everybody ain't bad, you know, so,
not bad.
you feel me?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah,
especially, like, you know, she know my background and shit like that, you know, so.
Yeah, for sure. So, how much has, you know, having your kids changed you?
A lot, because I was one of those who grew up without parents.
Right.
So I didn't give a fuck about the ones who had parents, because I ain't had no parents. Like, I had to go steal on Christmas. I ain't had a nice clothes and shit like that. Right. So, you feel me? I always envied that. You feel me? I ain't gonna trust. I was always jealous of my friends who had their parents, because it's like, bro, what the fuck you out here for? And you can go home and y'all having Thanksgiving and all this other shit, man. I had to go steal my Thanksgiving food when I was 15, 16, you feel me? So, you know, to each his own.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, growing up without parents make you want to be a
the
better
best
father. Yeah,
father
I
can,
like,
bro. Like, for real, bro. Like, anybody that be on my Instagram and watch me, bro, Father of the Year award, I get that motherfucker all the time. Like, you feel me? I got people who follow me for my music, but I also got people who follow me because I'm a good dad.
Right.
You feel me? I'm one of them ones who, you feel me, who take that shit serious. Yeah. You feel me? So, not just around Father's Day, all year round.
Yeah, come on now. So, oh, God, you got your son with you right now.
Oh, God, for real, man. So, you feel me? I had him at the earlier interview, too, but he camera shy a little bit.
It's all right, shit.
Right.
Yeah, you know, black men get stigmatized all the time. You know, they don't take care of their kids, they don't take care of their kids. Everybody is not the same.
Yeah.
You feel me? People put one person in the category, everybody else. Like, that's not how life works. You know what I'm saying?
That part. And some people, some fathers, you know, tend to give up because their relationship with their baby mama. I ain't never had that situation. Even when she did try to keep him, I'm going to court. You feel me? I'm going to be in his life. He ain't taking my kid away from me. You feel me? Nah, for real. You feel me? So I brought him in this world, so what do I look like leaving him?
Come on now.
You feel me?
If only everybody thought like that, huh?
Oh, not for real, bro.
Oh,
like, that's some sucker shit to me.
For sure.
You feel me? But, you know, everybody dealt with their own addictions, and, you know.
You can't judge other people.
Yeah, you know.
Everybody got their reasons to why they do things.
Yeah, that part.
Oh, God. Do you read?
Do I read?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading in jail a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I was reading a lot of Shakespeare and Malcolm X book. I tend to read sometimes, you feel me? Catch myself. That's how I learn. That's how I teach myself reading, you feel me? Especially, not just reading though, but watching movies. Like, I got my inspiration from The Pursuit of Happiness. Like, you feel me? Oh, God, like, that's how I wanted to be with my son. I mean, that's how he is with my son, you feel me? I was like that a long time when we was homeless, you feel me? And I had to go pick him up, and we slept in the car, and sometimes I ain't, you know, couldn't afford hotels and shit like that. Right now, I'm blessed I got my own shit, my own apartment and shit like that, but, you know, we came from the struggle, he know.
Right.
So, you know, he seen me, and it was hard for us, but, you know, we made it happen. You know, the storm don't last forever.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. Yeah. I appreciate you coming on here and definitely telling your stories. Everybody, you know.
Somebody gotta hear it.
Somebody gotta hear it. Yeah. God, because somebody, like I said, you going through what you're going through. This could be that motivation to keep pushing, keep it going.
Nah, for real.
On everything. So, you talked about being shot at a dice game. And with Takeoff just being murdered at one, I'm pretty sure we all heard of something reckless happen at a D game because of, you know, pride or whatever.
Yeah.
So what's your take on those type of situations?
Yeah, my situation was like a setup. I was shooting with, text somebody or like, you know, hit somebody to come ride the D game type shit. You feel me? So, but what I feel in them type of situations, that's envy. You feel me? I come with hatred, or you feel me? Niggas be out here starving too, though. You feel me? So you don't really know what the nigga situation is and shit like that. You know, you just gotta have your antennas up at all times.
Right.
But you know, these streets don't play fair.
For sure. I'm big on energy. Like,
Nah, for real.
you feel me? Like, there's certain places where you feel like, you know, you won't go because the energy isn't right, or you know the energy already beforehand.
Off tops, like, you feel me? I'm not even I'm an outside person, but I don't go to parties or go to clubs and shit like that. You feel me? Cause you know, all types of shit happen. I only go when I'm booked or, you feel me, my nigga having an event or some shit like that. But you know, we always go aware. You feel me?
Yeah.
Being aware is to stay alive.
Right.
For real.
Yeah.
So you feel me? I always got my antennas up.
Does that kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, like, do it make you feel a certain type of way that you have to be like that all the time, or sometimes you have to always be so alert, like you can't just be chill and just...
Nah, I was raised like that. Being in foster care system, you want to be alert.
Right.
You know?
So it's just normal, basically.
Yeah, you know, it's just, it's normal for me to be alert, you feel me? Just not for me, but for my kids. So,
right.
You feel me? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely understand that. So, I asked a few people what was their introduction to music, but now I kind of feel like as humans, you know, we don't really have an introduction to that shit. It just kind of happened, you know, like, it's like hearing somebody talk. You just automatically hear music. And, you know, you feel me what I'm saying? So, my question really is, what music or artists did you, like, love listening to on your own, like?
When I was a kid?
Yeah, or just like, you know, high school, middle school, like, who was you slapping?
I was slapping, Mac Dre, E40, Kick the Sneak, Filthy Rich, slapping a lot of people, bro. Meek Mill, you feel me? Lil Wayne, Plies, T.R.
Yeah, like everybody else is slapping.
Everybody, you know, everybody else is slapping, you feel me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you also talked about in interview with 1100 that you in 2019 you started really taking music seriously or whatever, shooting videos, etc.
Yeah.
But just recently you started really like trying to like go crazy with this shit. Like,
go crazy with this shit.
Exactly.
You see me, I'm dropping down there every 2 weeks. Like,
right, exactly.
I just dropped like 4 videos in 1 week just to see what I could do, you know, see if I could do that shit.
Right.
Like, you feel me? I had a wave, but, you know, I kept going to jail and shit like that. I was fucking vampire. Like, before the SOB niggas, like, I was coming, like, after left and frail type shit. Like, you feel me? But doing incarceration and, you know, dealing with real street shit and, you know, I don't have that mama or daddy a house I could go to. So, you know, I'm out here really thugging, like, you know, having to figure shit out on my own type shit. So, you feel me? Like, that shit play a big role. But right now, I'm a little stable, you feel me? Much stable, so you feel me? I've been trying to take this shit serious, and at the same time, I find the case, so you feel me? I'm trying to, you know, get as much done as possible.
Right. So what moves are you taking to grow your fan base career-wise and, you know,
to be
social
honest,
presence?
Networking. You
been outside?
I've been outside. I'm in community. I've been doing songs with people from Seattle, Texas, New Jersey, Oakland, you know, Sacramento. I'm tapped in, you feel me? I don't really do too much music with people in my own city because, you know, politics and shit like that. And, you know, niggas be hating and shit like that. But, you know, I be networking for sure.
For sure. Hell yeah. Especially people, like you said, out of state. Like, because they don't even know you, so they automatically going to support you. You know, people around you that's already in your section or whatever, you feel me?
They
ain't finna, like, as much as somebody would that don't know.
I got some fans in my city. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I got a buzz in my city,
but
you feel me? Like, that out of the state, but it's just like, that's where it's at. That's where you want to go, because, like, you feel me? You want everybody to listen to your shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, God. So from what I could tell, from what I could find, you don't have any projects out yet, right? Or do you?
I ain't never dropped the album, but I'm on everybody else's album.
Okay, so can we look forward to any EPs or any tapes? Like, why haven't you dropped anything?
Because I'm a perfectionist. I ain't gonna draw. So, like, I'm a perfectionist at its finest. I want my shit to be all blapper, especially with this project. I got my album, Orphan of the Village, you feel me? I got everything from low tempo to up tempo, from shit that you gonna feel, like you said, like talking about the foster care system, talking about struggling, and I got some shit that's okay. This shit bop like
Right.
nigga, you ride around, you feel me? Go catch something, you know. Vibe to, you know, I got all types of shit and I got all types of vibes on that motherfucker, you feel me? I wanted that motherfucker to be versatile.
Right.
So you feel me? And this is my first project, you feel me? And I just want to be hard, you feel me? So
Yeah.
and
I definitely respect it, but never try to be too perfect. You feel me? Because I feel like then you'll take too long. It'll never get done because you want everything to be a certain type of way. You feel me? Sometimes you just gotta let that shit go.
Cause my fans been on me. I was supposed to drop my shit in August.
You
I'm
see what I'm
supposed to drop it
saying?
in
Yeah.
October.
You try to be. You feel? Let that shit.
Yeah.
Let it go. You feel me? Like they'll
Oh,
slap
God.
it.
Yeah,
You
on
feel me?
God.
You feel me? Yeah.
On God.
On God. So we were actually supposed to shoot last week, but the rain got in the way. But you also had a show. How'd that go?
Yeah. Oh, how that shit go? I ain't gonna. I was planning the shit the whole time. Cause I'm like, bro, we had a shoot at 2 o'clock and I had a show in Fresno at 7 o'clock. So we was gonna come here. And as soon as we hit here, we hitting the road. You know, that's a 3 hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
But due to the cancellation, we just head straight out there. And, it was a successful show. Fresno fuck with a nigga. Shout out Fresno, you feel me? They showed a nigga so much love, man. You feel me? I did a show with that nigga EBK Backdoor, Verdi Baby, and SS Rich 33. And you feel me? We turned Fresno up. I ain't gonna choose. That shit was cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. So what makes a song performance worthy? Like.
What makes a song performance worthy?
What makes a song performance worthy? Like.
The vibe of the song. I ain't gonna lie. It depends on the vibe, and you feel me? Like everybody. You perform it, so everybody gonna want an up-tempo song, so that just, you feel me, automatic. And then you could have a song where, you know, them people is in a struggle. So you feel me, you could play one of your struggle songs and they still gonna vibe to it too.
Right.
So you feel me, it's really all about the vibe and what you producing and what you putting in your music. You feel me? Type shit.
Right. Yeah. So what would you say? I ain't gonna say would you say that your sound fits into your local music scene? Like
my sound?
Yeah, your sound.
Yeah, of course. First of all, I don't sound like nobody, and then when I came out, I already had my own sound.
Right.
You feel me? And I can see a lot of little me's out there. You feel me? Taking my ad libs and shit like that, and you feel me? Taking some of my sound, but you feel me? Shout out y'all and shit like that, but my sound play a big role because I'm speaking on shit people be scared to speak on. Like how you said, like, you feel me? A lot of people don't want to speak on the type of thing.
Or speak on them struggling, none of that shit. Like,
that part, because they don't want to be looked at as, oh, you a bum, or you feel me? Woo, woo, woo.
That's why I like
due
to
to the that part, man. You feel me? A lot of people fuck with Mozzie and shit like that.
Yeah, he was telling that shit. He was saying, like, I do this, I do that. Like,
yeah. Oh God.
For sure. So, I feel like everybody has that memorable call-in or like an ad-lib in their music that lets you know it's them on any song. Do you have one of those?
DayDay. You feel me? You hear that DayDay or you hear that
Yeah.
You feel me? Slide, you know. Hey, you know, that's DayDay all over it. You feel me? Niggas know my ad-libs.
So how'd you come up with that? To like, you feel me? Was it just in the studio, I'm the young shit out, or you just...
Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I just always had that energy. Like, you feel me? Like, I just, like, whatever come to my head, like, you feel me? I just go off of my energy and off my words. Like, I'm talking about a rap, slat, or I'm talking about, you feel me? Just, like, just whatever I feel at the same, like, you feel me? At the time, I put that shit right there. A lot of my shit be mixed up. Like, I don't write my ad-libs, you feel me? Like, anybody who could tell you who been in the studio with me, like, all my brothers, I go in there and just go crazy, you feel me?
So you just freestyle, you don't write or nothing like that, or you just don't write your ad-libs?
Both. But I don't write my ad-libs, but I say 8 times out of 10 I write. Like, probably like the last 8 bars I probably freestyle, punch in, you feel me? But I don't like that shit. I like to write my shit.
Yeah. I feel like it's more meaningful if you really write.
It
like,
is.
You really gonna get some, you really gonna say some shit.
It is.
For sure. So, what's your motto or some good advice that you live by every day?
Stand on business. You feel me? Stand on principles, morals and principles. That's what I live by. You feel me? loyalty. You feel me? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, shit, like, every day I just want to make it back home with my kids. You feel me?
Right.
That's how I start the day off, and that's how I end the day off.
Right.
I just think about my kids and, you know, trying to put them in a better position as myself, but really for my kids. Because once you have kids, you know, it's no longer for yourself.
It's not about you no more.
It's not about you no more.
Yeah.
At all. So, like, you feel me? Just putting them in a better position and leaving a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is.
Right.
You know?
I heard that, leaving a legacy. Yeah.
No matter what it is, like, you feel me? Even if I don't work out with this rap shit, I always got a plan B. Like, I do carpentry, you know? So, you feel me? Open up a carpenters union, you know? Leave it to my son.
Right.
Got something for my daughter, you know? Always got something, you feel me? So, they gonna be set.
Right.
That part.
As long as they got something.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I definitely feel that.
Shit, I wish I had something, you know? But unfortunately, my situation ain't like that,
Right.
you know? So,
Right.
I'm gonna leave them something for sure.
Yeah, but now you have the ability to do that for them.
Yeah, like I think of it as my situation as I'm the first generation.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And now we just gonna go from here.
Now we gonna bring generational wealth.
Yeah, just like that. You know, I gotta cut that communication, that curse. That's what it is.
Hell yeah, it seems like a
That
lot of
generational
us got that
curse.
curse.
Yep. A lot of us got that. I ain't gonna lie.
You know.
A lot of black families got that.
But we know why though.
Yeah.
We know why. You feel me? Like I'm big on like really getting into shit, what it is. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like these families that we see with these big ass houses, these white families. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
They got these big ass houses. They got all this generational money.
Yeah.
But where does that stem from? Our people working. So really, that generational wealth. We should have all that generational wealth, but we don't even get no reparations, no nothing.
That part.
You feel me? So you should have had a house.
That part.
Because you deserve
you know
one. Because you black. You feel me? Like
another thing, not to just to stem off that, but to add to it, our black people, our ancestors. Mm-hmm. Some of them should have saved grandma's house.
Right.
You know, instead of selling it.
Right.
You know, like I got aunties, you know, and they gambled the house away, and you know, they have addictions. Addictions just don't have to be drugs. It could be gambling.
All type of shit.
All types of shit. You feel me? Like, nigga, like, you know, and that's what we come from. When it come from the slaves and shit like that, we come from trauma and addiction, personality. You know, everybody got addictive personality. No matter what it is. You feel me? So that's just what it is. Like, that's what the black community is lacking. You know, passing down the game, cause like.
And unity.
Yeah, cause I ain't learned credit until I started getting around my white friends.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like I ain't learned that shit in the streets, like that.
But
shit.
that's because they weren't taught to learn about credit.
Exactly.
We were never taught to excel in life, so of course they're not gonna teach us this.
Exactly.
You feel me? That's why you teach your kids, teach them. You feel me?
And that's another thing. That's why I think the probation program, because they got all these type of programs. If you want to do it, you have to be willing to do it.
Right.
And, you know, I joined a black business program. You know, I got my black license, you know. I mean, my license and stuff like that. My LLC and stuff like that. So, you know, they teach you that. I ain't get taught that shit in the streets.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's why I said, you know, probation is not always bad. It's what you make of it. You feel me?
Right.
That part.
For sure. Oh, God. So the infamous question is, what you smoking on?
Man, you feel me? This right here, we got some forbidden fruit. You feel me? Half a pea left, and this animal cookies down here. I got some other shit, you feel me? But I ain't bring everything with me, man. You feel me? But you know, we got some shit.
Right. Okay. So, what was your first time getting highlight?
I was like 13 and a half, man. I was in the hood. I was with my boy, the Carlos, Lil E. We're chilling in Millersville. You feel me? I'll never forget it. We off Calaveras and shit. We was smoking, you know, back then, you feel me? Everybody smoking woods now. You feel me? In Vallejo, we been smoking woods. You feel me? So, you know, but anyway, you know, the first time getting high, that shit just introduced me to something that I started loving. Like I said, everybody got an addictive personality. My mama was addicted to crack. You feel me? So when I started smoking weed, I just opened up a gateway for me to, you know, have something to cope with.
Right.
But I'm already 13. I ran away.
Going through shit.
Fighting, you feel me, doing all types of home invasions and shit like that, you know, all types of shit, you feel me, going to foster care, going to juvenile hall, you feel me, I had that, you feel me, weed to cope with and shit like that, you feel me, but yeah.
So do you have like a funny high story with some crazy shit that happened, like, either you was hella paranoid, you was around somebody hella paranoid, anything?
Oh yeah, shit, we in Vallejo. I think we was in the West. Yeah, we was in the West. This was my 8th grade year, going to Vallejo Middle and shit like that. We smoking. It's me, E, Carlos, and Buddha from my neighborhood. A couple other niggas and shit like that. And a girl I was fucking with at the same time. You feel me? I mean at that time. You feel me? She didn't smoke weed, but she wanted to try it and shit like that. So,
okay. So, I already know where the story going. You know where the story going.
So, you know, school's out. You know, we back there by the tracks and shit like that. So we smoking and shit like that. All her friends come over there. We smoking and shit like that. One of her friends started hallucinating, bro.
Hell no.
Like, you feel me? Like, just hallucinating, bro. Like, you feel me? She started taking off her, you feel me? Woo woo. Like, she just started taking off her clothes and shit like that. You feel me? And I know I rolled up some weed and shit like that. You feel me? And I don't know what my boys, other partners rolled up. Cause
you don't know who the weed?
Yeah, cause you feel me? Cause I ain't hit they blunt. You feel me? Like we like you feel me? Yeah, like we like you feel me? Like 14 and like I was like 14 and a half at this time before I even went to juvenile hall and shit like that. We back there smoking and shit like that. Come to find out, but had laced with some spice or whatever like that.
Boy.
So she on the ground, you feel me? And this one, like, I think, this one the Soulja Boy U shit came out.
Hell no. What?
Bro, she took her jacket off. She was in her bra, bro. She didn't take her pants off.
Yeah.
But she was running around the whole track. Reminding me, in middle school and high school, I don't know how it is today, but in middle school and high school, the tracks was the same thing. So 4 laps is a mile.
Right.
She ran around you.
Hell no. Not you.
I swear to God, bro, on 3 letters, bro. I cannot make this up, bro. 4 laps doing the, bro, when the 4th lap came.
So what you mean she was running and going like
just running and going like
what
this, bro. You. And then when she going on the other side, I could not make this up.
Hell no.
I think her name was Crystal, bro.
Oh my God, don't say her
name. She probably doing better in life right now, though. You feel me? Shout out Crystal.
Shout out Crystal, man. Damn.
She was in the, bro, doing you, bro, the whole time, bro. Her last lap.
Hell no.
Her last lap, she coming in, right? After doing all her urine, right? She put her clothes on. So now what we doing, guys? You feel me? No. Like she ain't just did that shit. Like on some weird shit.
Right. Like, hey, it looked like she was having fun.
Bruh, oh
shit.
God,
like
bruh. I got hella more funny high stories, but that was just like one of like, you feel me? Okay, high stories to tell. You think what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I wish you had video. You sit around the boy time. We show ain't had no proper phones.
Yeah, that was 08, man. You feel me?
You had no proper phones, right?
That was 08, man. That shit was crazy.
That looked funny. She said, yo.
Now, you know what we did have, though? We had the Nokias.
Yeah, ain't no Nokias. You could go crazy.
Oh, God.
You couldn't record on the
Oh,
pictures,
God.
though,
Oh, nah, you couldn't.
Yeah,
I think the Sidekick. I think we did have the Sidekick.
The Sidekick could record, I think.
Yeah.
I ain't had no Sidekick, though. I wanted one.
I had the Sidekick LX. That's probably, I think that's the only one I had. But you feel me? What the bands came out with? 09? I can't remember, bro.
I don't remember, boy.
I can't remember, bro. That's crazy though, but yeah,
that's hella funny. Yo,
bro, what?
Oh God, but she hollers.
And a bra though, bro.
And a bra though.
And, oh my God! And I remember the jeans. She had some apple bottom jeans on, bro. So you know what I'm talking about, bro. The apple bottom jeans on, bro. What?
That's boy.
Bro, oh God, bro,
I ain't heard that. I ain't heard about them jeans in so long.
Come on, bro, you know.
Sean John and shit, FUBU.
Oh God, Rockaware. Oh God, you know it. Niggas used to have all that shit.
So weak now. Hell, dog. Boy, y'all
niggas used to have all that shit. fat form.
Yeah.
All that shit, bro. I used to, bro, what? Bro, you couldn't tell me nothing with the fat form. I used to come, bro. Dip, bro.
What? Oh,
yeah,
God.
when I was staying with my grandma, God, I used to have a brown fat form too. You feel me? With the fat form shoes to go with it.
Hell yeah. That's around time.
Oh, God, bro.
Females wearing baby fat and shit. Look.
On mamas.
That's hella funny. Look, that shit where it's at, boy. Do not bring none of that shit back.
That's right. But you know what's so crazy? What they bringing back, like people thought was cool, was feelers. But when
they been kind of bringing that back though.
But I was in middle school wearing feelers when everybody was wearing the Jordan retros and
but you
Air
see how
Forces
everything changed. Niggas wearing Crocs now, but at first when we was like Crocs,
like bro, that's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
you know the style changed, bro.
Yeah,
baggy jeans is coming back now. You know a lot of niggas wearing the baggy jeans.
Nah, not for real.
Shit changes. You feel me?
We was rocking Jabos too.
Boy, so
they tried
old.
to bring that back too. That's crazy.
Everything come full circle though.
Nah,
like,
for real.
The '90s, we wearing shit now. They wearing in the '90s. You feel me?
Oh, mamas, I'm already
You know how I go. Oh God. So, favorite munchie food? What you gonna eat?
Favorite munchie food?
You get high. I'm finna eat some food. What you
something. What's the confetti brownies? Oh God, honey buns, fruit snacks, Rice Krispie treats. Yeah. But my go-to gummy worms.
Gummy worms? Oh, you got sweet tooth for real?
Yeah, I got sweet tooth for real.
Sour ones or the regular?
Regular.
What?
Yeah, I gotta do the regular.
Hell no.
I fuck with the sour ones, but you feel me? Like when you, you know, they be a little bit too sweet sometimes. You know, when you get older and shit like that. Yeah. You know, you want to keep your teeth.
Right. Oh God.
Oh
God. Hey, that shit will fuck you up. Oh God, if you don't do it the right way. You feel me? So, what's the next step, man? What can we look forward to?
Share some more collaborations. Me and my brother Beetlejuice, we got a tape coming out. You feel me? We're gonna do a tape. Me, Beetlejuice, and Fat Dub. You feel me? I got a song with Repossession Ren. He from Oakland, 6'9" Village. You feel me? We did the little thing, Ville to the Ville. You feel me? That's out on all platforms. Go check that shit out. Village Life. Really shit. Just working with my team. I ain't gonna lie, MOF. Shout out my Trigger Mob niggas too, you feel me? And my 6'9" niggas, but yeah, really just working with my team and working with people out of state and shit like that.
Oh God, man, we'll be excited to see it, man. Hey, man, it's been another segment of Sparking Up with Bands and Weed, man. MOF that in this motherfucker. We outside with the motherfucking vibes, man. Make sure y'all check them out and make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe because y'all niggas do not be doing that shit and that shit lame as hell.
Man, y'all go like, man, because your mama want to like and your auntie want to like.
You
though,
feel
nigga.
me? Oh, God.
3 letters, though.
Hear me? We out.